Go ahead.
Okay. I'll start over again from where were you? So I was lucky enough to go to Taiwan in the northeast section in District 3490, and that might not mean much now, but if you do some research on Rotary, you realize that there's hundreds of thousands of districts across the world that unite Rotary overall. And the reason I was able to experience this trip was through the Chemnitz Club within the Rotary, I guess, Brotherhood and Sisterhood within Simcoe Muskoka area, and they provided me with a sponsored trip to go to Taiwan and experience the group study exchange project, where 4 young professionals within our district were hand-selected to go on the trip and experience 4 to 5 weeks of vocational visits, cultural tours, living with families. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Awesome. What did you learn? What did you learn or exchange while you were gone?
There's a lot of things that I took away from the trip, for sure, but the trip in a whole it's like no other. You get to experience families and experience cultures where you realize at the start, when you get there, there's so many differences. Like the language, I didn't even comprehend it. Like a lot of it was white noise at the start, but after you get into the rhythm of things and understanding people and reading the international language of like people's body language, so smiling and showing pictures and experiences, you realize that you are so similar, even though you're worlds apart, and that is the most realistic experience I can ever come away with. That we're so similar. We want to be with family. We want to have good jobs. We want children to have education. We want societies to prosper, and there's all these things that come together, and it was unbelievably impactful on how much you can do in your life.
How did the trip impact you, Alex?
The trip itself impacting me is in terms of what I'm available to do in my community, and how the world got so much smaller in one trip. I've personally traveled all over the world. By all over the world, I've been to 3 or 4 different continents, and I've had opportunities that have allowed me to really see a lot of what's out there, and this is the most amazing experience that I've had an opportunity to take away from, and realize that I've just walked in and refurbished my life. I was on the trip with 4 young professionals from all over Simcoe Muskoka, and so I've experienced 4 different vocations that have allowed me to realize that even though our jobs are so different, it's what you put into your job and what you take away, and not necessarily what you do. And they all had so much to offer through banking, working for the government in fisheries department, working in heating and cooling, in healthcare and promotion, and then myself in recreation, and yet somehow they were all similar.
What's your long-term view of the experience?
My long-term view is how this has completely revamped my life. When I left, work has always been a huge part of how I've defined myself, and and I love that. It's I work for the YMCA, and I love what I do, and I have so many great staff that are working with me, and I have the pleasure of working with them, and there's so many great families I get to meet, but I haven't always cherished my own family, which is a huge part of the experience when we were over there, is how much they take care of the people that are older and the people that are beside them, how they take friends in as family, and how you share and you bring everything as a communal base, and with how I interact with my staff, and then how I interact with my own family and the time I take and share with others, I'm just much more present with the experiences I'm being given than just going through them and hitting the check boxes. It was an unbelievable experience overall that I would never have been able to experience without this trip.
Excellent. And one last question. Is there any chance that you got inappropriate with any young Asian women?
There aren't many chances, but there are many opportunities.
I couldn't give